So then, and we already talked about the girls sit down and spitting session. And then actually, if Tony Storm and Maria May would just sit there and spit on each other, I bet they could raise some money on OnlyFans for that. But they gave it away for free. But the main event was scheduled for, well, it wasn't just scheduled, it indeed turned out to be Swerve Strickland and Brody King versus Okada and Ricochet. So you got Swerve, the babyface, with the babyface manager, Prince Nana, teaming up with I guess he's a babyface now because he's a member of the Hounds of Hell. They repackaged him and who's he? What's his partner's name? Buddy. Because Malachi left, so they became the Hounds of Hell. Then they brought him out as a team and beat him, and then they brought Brody out as a single and beat him. No, Buddy as a single and beat him. So they're taking on Okada, the guy that has a heel manager that never actually manages him anymore. Because he was a member of the family, wasn't he?
What family? Who are you talking about?
Wasn't Okada in the family at one point? Then he went with no, I'm sorry. It was Take a Shit that was in the family. Okada went with the Bucks. Then the Bucks left. Okada's a heel, but now he's teamed up with Ricochet, who used to be a babyface, but now he's a heel. And he just got stabbed in the head with scissors. But he's still got to wrestle in the main event. Is this a fucking rib?
I was surprised when I realized that the guy who was stabbed with scissors is wrestling in the main event.
Yes, and they were calling it a preview of Revolution because you got Swerve and Ricochet both in the ring with each other. They were in the ring with each other an hour ago when the one guy stabbed the other guy in the fucking head.
Well, it's also a preview because we're getting Okada versus Buddy at the pay-per-view.
But Buddy wasn't in here. It's Brody.
I meant Brody, excuse me. Okada versus Brody at the pay-per-view.
Well, big shit. Okada versus anybody but a mortician is not something I want to see. I watched a little bit of it. The bell didn't ring until 7 minutes till 10, but I'm always tempted to watch Okada's matches to see if at some point he just falls apart. It just shit falls off. An arm falls off. A leg falls off. Or if he just creeps across the ring with his little steps, with his hunched-shouldered stance and lightly taps on somebody. It's embarrassing. But after 1 minute of nothing happening, immediately they broke into a four-way and they rolled out on the floor, and they were on the floor endlessly because the corpse referee was in charge, which means they really don't have a referee. And they did about 3 minutes on the floor and then went to the break at 3 minutes till 10. So they could come back at 10 o'clock and sap the Modern Family audience. And it was a rotten tag team match because these aren't teams. They didn't mesh. Okada is embarrassingly bad and senile. And at 10:07, Ricochet hit Swerve with the fucking title belt and pinned him 1, 2, 3 after a fairly phony-looking finishing sequence that made the referee look like an idiot along with the rest of the wrestlers in the ring. And that was the main event.
Well, there it is, Jim. Another AEW Dynamite, another episode, the go-home episode for the big AEW Revolution pay-per-view, which we will be reviewing on the Drive-Thru this coming week.
You know what the problem is with Okada, poor old fella?
Oh, back on
He just didn't plan ahead. He didn't have a backup plan. That's why he's out there now when every time he's so broken down, every time he falls down, takes a bump, dust shoots out his sphincter. He's just a shell of his former self because he didn't plan ahead. He didn't have a business that he could fall back on with the greatest commerce platform in the whole ding-dong world. He did not go to our friends at Shopify, and now that's why he's in the position he's in, where the poor old thing has to be beat on like an old rug hanging on a line in the backyard because he wasn't ready to grow his business, to go to the home of the #1 checkout on the planet, to go to Shopify, to make some money, make sure that his carts weren't going abandoned, because he looks like he's been abandoned by his doctors, abandoned by his family, abandoned by people that care about him. He just looks like he's laying around in a back alley somewhere, wasting away to nothing. And that's what's going to happen to you too, people out there. If you don't have Shopify in your corner, when the corporate conglomerate takeover of the world happens, you got to have a big brother to take care of you. And Shopify, they've got tentacles. They reach all over the world. They can sell icicles to Eskimos. They can sell suntan lotion to people living on the equator. And they can sell whatever it is that you're trying to pawn off on the unsuspecting public. Brian, you know this is true. You get just any kind of dog and pony show to you. The pet rock. Shopify could have made the guy that came up with the pet rock a billionaire. Instead of Elon Musk now, we'd be dealing with the guy that came up with the pet rock, because it's all about your platform, Brian. It's all about who's selling your stuff. It's all about who's making the conversions. It's all about who. Well, you know it. You know it's true.
Well, it's all about you want to get your product in front of the most amount of eyes, the most amount of potential customers as possible. And with Shopify, you can do that.
And you want to have that platform taking those people's money just like that, just sticking their hand in their pocket and pulling the money out of these people's pants.
No. I wouldn't say it like that at all.
They gotta be fighting.
The money. They're accepting the money that is given to them for your fine products that you are selling with Shopify.
Yeah, and you better turn that money over too if you know what's good for you, because Shopify, they got friends. And if you don't part with at least part of your money, they're going to make sure that some of your parts don't go back together the same way.
That is not what Shopify will do. Shopify is on the up and up, and your business will be going up and up and up and away with sales.
And away. And some people might be going away for 3 to 5 years for what they do to you.
No one is going away no one involved with Shopify. I don't know what you do in your personal life.
Well, no, they contract this out. It won't be Shopify, plausible deniability. It'll be somebody named Frank or Joe.
There are no contracts.
A crooked nose.
No contracts, no buttons, just your items on Shopify. Get out. Just do it. You get in front of the most customers you can with Shopify. That's what I'm saying, Jim.
Just get out there and mingle amongst them. And boom, and your cash registers. Your cash registers will be ka-chinging with the money that you'll be making, and it won't cost you anything, because we can get you a $1 a month trial period. If you don't believe the things that we are saying is true, or we are saying is true, or we is saying are true. A lot of people don't think it be like it is, but it do. But Shopify will only charge you a $1 a month trial period if you go to shopify.com/JCE. That's all lowercase, by the way, that JCE. And you can upgrade your selling today and see how wonderful they are, and how that they will make people turn over a significant portion of their income just to be left alone from you if you have Shopify in your corner.
Well, no, again, I wouldn't phrase it like that. You ought
to open a business where you say, I will leave you alone if you'll pay me money. There are certain people that could make that go.
I don't think that business is a legitimate thing. Some press agents I know actually may call that a business, but that is not a legitimate business that they will be selling or helping you sell or being involved in any way. Let's talk about your business. Let's talk about what you could sell. Let's talk about the customers. A pleasant experience, easy to track, Shopify, without any more trouble. What's that promo code, Jim?
JCE. Let's talk about Shopify.
Okay, I don't know what that was, but that's right. Shopify.com/JCE.